Alright, got called in for a service call, and I'm going to grab my handy dandy ATD 3/8 drive tool set here. I also got the 1/4 inch drive. Check the reviews out in the description box below. We're going to go make some repairs, but this is the set that I've been taking with me lately on these types of service calls.
Yeah, because see, that's what it's supposed to be looking like.
Looks to me like a belt slipping.
And see, that's when you let go of it. As soon as you touch it, it takes off.
You can see it, the hub is stripped out. It's supposed to have teeth there. You can barely see some grooves. That is nice and smooth. The shaft does not look too good itself. We'll have to clean that up just to see if there's any teeth left on it. So far, I pulled the hub off of it, wash blade off, and if you can look at it right there, this is the main tub shaft. Now, the bottom here is where the actual hub is supposed to go, and it's supposed to have teeth right there. Usually they got rebuild kits for these where we could rebuild them. I don't find none online right at this moment in time for this particular model right here, but we're definitely going to be finding out because I'm going to take this whole thing apart. I'm going to take the gear case off of it, and we're going to see what we can do for this place. The main shaft right there goes in right here. It pulls your tub, goes around in circles, all that stuff. And whenever it agitates, this little piece right here, it jogs back and forth. This is your gear case. This is your drain pump. Very teeny tiny pump compared to the old ones. You know, here's your motor right here on the inside. I'm going to take this whole assembly off right here. One thing, this motor is pretty well a brand new motor. I mean, usually you can buy the bearings and the shaft and all that stuff, but you can see right there, look how bad that is. I mean, it's ate up right through there. It's horrible to just eat it up. I mean, we'll finish pulling off every useful part on this thing and go from there. The more you can pull off, the less you gotta buy. The way they make some of these, you ain't able to really work on them. Here's what the inside of this looks like. It's riveted together. Well, in the meantime, they had an old one that was just sitting here. This is a different kind of Whirlpool, and it's running perfectly fine. We're done running it through its first cycle. I got it cleaned up here nice. This has definitely fixed the other one. There's no other alternative than to order a new gearbox transmission assembly. The local retailers around here, it's like $291 plus it needs a little hub piece. So I found them online, $180 plus shipping, and I got the little hub for about $14 online. Put the link down in the description box below. This is a Maytag owned by Whirlpool Centennial Washer. And right there's a model number for no MVWC415EW0. Here is our old part. This is the initial problem right here. Some of these you can rebuild. This one you could potentially rebuild if you went ahead and drilled all the little holes out on this thing and took this actual gearbox apart. See, the teeth right here are just flat dab destroyed. As part of the shaft right here, that is in perfectly good, healthy shape. But unless you have this part, it's not going to turn the tub. The way it works is the outside shell here will turn one thing, this will turn another. So one turns the tub, one will turn the agitator itself. You can see that it's turning right here without the teeth turning on the other one, because one spins, the other one does not. When you win factory specific parts, here's a brand new box. We got the brand new hub right here. This place was going to go ahead and buy another used one, but if they bought a used one, they would not know for certain what was wrong with the other one. If they bought a used one, it could have the same type of damage, go out in a year. This one, right at $180 to $190. Get it shipped. The hub itself down here was only about $20. Altogether, it wasn't entirely too bad. So once we get this thing together, they're going to know for certain that they got a brand new part on it, and this is going to be the main thing that drives it. This and the motor's practically brand new on this thing, so it's going to be a pretty good washing machine when it's all said and done. But you can clearly tell the difference between the brand new shaft right here. You see how it's supposed to look? Nice grease, as opposed to what the other one looks like here with mangled teeth all the way around it. Down here the teeth are mangled up. Anytime you get new parts, you want to match them up by sticking them side by side right here. As you can see, this one and this one, both, everything on them is identical. Things first, you want to go ahead and remove the old seal right here, as you can see here with the old one versus the brand new one. People do like taking some grease and putting it around the outside rim right here. That way it'll kind of help seal it if any water does start coming out. That might be part of the contributing factor of failure right here, is this one has the washer that it's supposed to have right in between the seal right here. This one did not have one when it come off. Now facing the washer, your motor should be on the left hand side, because we're going to have to mount the motor up inside of the gearbox assembly. So looking at it from beneath, motor should be on the left. The shaft should be the furthest to the right whenever you go to mount it up here. You want to make sure that this is nice and cleaned out. There's no dirt, grime, things like that. Get yourself a little bit of grease. Stick it right around the outside of our seal. Slide in nice and easy. Plus, it will kind of help block off any moisture, any water that might try to escape right there. That's not an absolute have to, but it is something that, you know, a lot of people do recommend. Line it up. Have to raise that tub up some. Make sure that you slide it all in place. And those screw holes up. Now go ahead and start your fasteners. We're going to come up here, go ahead and get our 10 millimeter ready. Screw in one side, then the other. Especially whenever you got plastic, you're working with plastic. And then just barely snug it up. Not a lot of force, just barely tighten it. Make sure everything's in there nice and secure. The two up top. The two there at the bottom. See how these holes are drilled on the left side of the motor? They should go to the left side of the washer. The side without no holes should go toward the right. See right here what I was talking about. There's no holes on this side. One hole on this side goes to the left side. Now you're going to come over here and go ahead and get your drain pump, plug back up, mount it in place, and it goes right here. They're going to be 8 millimeter. This is the Jobsmart tool in action, by the way. As you can see, it's all hooked up in place. All this does is mount down inside of here. It's got this little 4-way piece of plastic, and it's going to go inside of that hole right there. You see how it's got that 4 points like a square? You put the X pattern in all 4 points of that square. So you turn it sideways here. You're going to feed it in, and then all you got to do is turn it sideways. The springs are going to go in first. And then you're going to get your cap right here with the gears, and then you're going to get the outer layer, and then you're going to get your pulley spring. It's going to sit right over top of that. See where it's got these little prongs right here? They're going to go inside of those holes right there. Take this up and slide it where you want it at, but you got to make sure that this piece right here is in the place it's supposed to be in, or you're going to be having to pull it back off. And it hooks directly to one right here, and that's so basically you take it and snap it in place like I was showing you, line it up where it's supposed to be at, which is supposed to be the guide holes here. You can see right here, it locks in to place right there, and those little guides will stick inside those holes so you know exactly where it goes in at, because this is going to have to go inside of that hole. Now you're going to go ahead and pick up your pulley here. My side with the teeth goes right here up against these teeth. All you got to do is put it on there, slide it in place, and then put your fastener on the outside. You gotta tighten it too tight because it will turn the entire tub on the inside. You gotta tighten it up just enough for the. Now you're ready to mount this piece on. You make sure it's inside of this plastic piece. You stick it right inside those holes. Then you got two little green fasteners that goes in a hole up here and one right here in the middle. Once all that's in place, you're gonna want to put your belt on. You can pretty well do that by taking it, putting it in here, and then turning the tub around. Double check everything. Fasteners good and tight, everything hooked up right. Now you're ready to put your wiring harnesses in here. Now we're ready to flip it back over, put the hub back in place, agitator back in, try it out. For this particular washer, it is W10528-947 for the hub. The new one does have teeth on it, which is the way it's supposed to look. And it comes with a new horseshoe. But the important part here is do not try to attempt to take these things out in the beginning with any type of impact, because if you was to, you're liable to strip these screws and then you're really hurting. To make sure that you line up all of your screw holes. Here it goes over top of the teeth accurately. If anything, use your phone, take it, put it up top, stick a screw in place, stick your phone in there, make sure it's going inside the hole. As you might be able to tell right there, it's going in the hole. You're going to want to push this thing down a side at a time. That's all the way down. Go ahead and put each one of your screws in and then do it in rotation whenever you tighten them up. You can see there the tub will start spinning once it's pretty good and snug. Get your horseshoe right here. You're going to feel around. You're going to have a hole that goes right here. You're going to have a hole over here. And essentially you take it and you slide it in, and that helps lock it in place. It will cover up that screw right there. As you can see, this is what it should look like. Now you come get your agitator plate. It's also got teeth inside here, so you're going to want to make sure that you don't force it, that you do want to sit it down on here and let it slide over those teeth. And get your agitator stem right here, your fastener in place. Slowly start threading it and tightening it up. Put your cap on, and then you are good to go. Take it, plug it in, hook up your water lines, try it out. Make sure that your agitator spins and your tub spins the way it is supposed to. Which we're getting ready to do here in just a minute. Now hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, pop the clutch on that subscribe button. I do a wide variety of different things, from automotive, mechanic repairs, commercial equipment, industrial machines, and much more. You can also follow over on Instagram or check out the Facebook page.
To me, like it's doing what it's supposed to.
It's working.